guys, this is Grace. Welcome to my channel. First off, I'm going to tell you right now that I lost a bunch of the footage for this video, so I'm going to kind of slow this down as I talk a little bit. But first, this layout is based off of a sketch and recipe from Creative Memories. I found the sketch rather Pinterest, and I'm going to try to share the link to that in the description box below. Now, basically what it is it was using some pattern papers as the background, a few strips to cut as to go on like a bookends, and then mattings for the photos. So learning from the previous recipes and sketches that I have been using, I have learned that before I start cutting paper, that I can kind of look which one will need what, and so that I can kind of figure out if I really do need a full sheet, if I can just go through my scraps. And basically that's what I did here. The sketch kind of had a few papers that like the papers on the top, it's supposed to be like a big block, but I didn't really have that one that would match the theme of the layout that I'm making. And so I just pulled some 6x6 papers and kind of made it my own. So that was something that I have learned as I'm going through these specific sketches with measurements or recipes, is that I need to look at it first, study out the sketch, kind of see what those papers, what those cuts are for, and see if I can kind of change that or tweak that to match my specific layout. So for this one, as you can see, I am doing a Thanksgiving fall layout, and so I pulled out some papers from my scrap for that. I also have learned that a lot of these recipes don't have borders and so I created my own borders already. Now the mats that was cut for this particular sketch or recipe is for 4x6 photos, and I think I want to say like 3x5 or something like that. And so of course that doesn't match my usual 3x4 photos. So here I am and just kind of trimming them off just so that it will work with my sketch. Also, these blocks of orange that you see that don't have photos, they are supposed to have photos, but I don't have any more for this particular layout. And so I'm just going to use that as kind of a place to put my journaling and also some accents. And so let's just dive into the pros and cons that I have found with this Creative Memories type of recipe and sketch. It is very easy to understand. Again, I am going to link the recipe that I found on Pinterest in the description box below if you want to look at that. And it's easily adaptable as well. Like I said, if you just study it really well, that you can kind of figure out how that will work with either your style or the amount of photos that you have, or anything else that you like to put in your layout. It uses the most common picture sizes, which always is a plus for me because I would rather just slap my photos on a layout than having to like crop them in different sizes. And plus, I feel like if I'm making the layout before I have the photos printed, or no, if I have the photos printed before I create the layout, I feel like I might be kind of putting myself up for failure because my photos don't quite match the sizes that the sketch calls for. I hope that's making sense. So I like that this one uses common picture sizes. And then another thing, and this is one of my favorite things about recipes, same goes with the club scraps, is that these Creative Memories recipes do not leave you with so many scraps, and so I really like that one. The con about this is, I've already kind of talked about this, the mat size is too big for a 4x6, so there's a lot of paper all around the photo. Especially with me, I'm using it for 3x4 photos, so as you can see, I had to trim a lot. If I had 4x6, I probably don't have to trim too. I guess I still, because I don't like a 1/4 inch matting all around my photos. I like at least no more than an eighth of an inch. I just feel like a quarter is just too much paper around my photos. And I also find that it's a little too simple, but you can add border punch or stamping or even die cuts. And that's what I'm doing here. I went through my die cut book. If you have been a subscriber of this channel for a while, you know that I have a little die cut book that I have put all of my kind of loose die cuts there, and that has helped me to use them up more. And so I'm just filling all of the empty spaces with stickers and die cuts, and then I will actually add my title to that the pattern paper, the blocks of pattern paper on the top left, and that's where my title is going to go. And I'm just kind of going through stickers and elements. This is another thing that I like about sketches, is that you can really match it with whatever theme that you have. It's sketches. It's for me. It's like a springboard, right, for creativity. So even if the sketch, like this particular sketch, I can make this a Christmas one, Thanksgiving, fall, Easter, whatever the theme is. I just have to change the papers. I just have to change the elements that I use in here. So that is one of my favorite things about sketches, is that especially if you are an event-based type of scrapper, you can pretty much use the same sketch over and over again for the different holidays that you have. You just have to change the papers and the elements that you use. So it's very easily transferable to every kind of layout. And of course, if you know me, I love double page layouts because I am a photo heavy type of scrapper. And so the more space to add photos, the better for me. So I'm just kind of going through all of the items. I did kind of slow this down to 1.5, so it's not my normal speed, but I had lost a lot of the footage of cutting all of these papers on the left, the block in the center, and all of that. But I only use, if you can see that orange paper, I believe that's a whole sheet. And so I was able to use the whole sheet of orange cardstock for the matting and also for those strips that were on the sides of the paper, and then those 1 inch and 1/2 inch strips of paper on the both ends there are just from my scrap. The only full sheet were the background pieces and also the yellow matting that I used in the background. These papers, oh actually I take that back. The full sheets of 6x6 were also from my scrap, but they're full 6x6 because I didn't have a big enough space to add to the paper, or to the space that needed the paper. I'm sorry, I forgot to turn off my my phone is making so many noises. Anyways, let's go back to the layout and let's put together the title. So I'm trying to use kind of marrying different pieces here for title. And at first I like that Grateful, which is just a cut apart from another fall themed pattern paper. And I wanted to marry that with a script font because if you know me, I kind of like that style of like marrying the sans serif font with a script font. And I found it together Word, a die cut, but it was just a little too small for my liking. And so I went through my die cut pieces. If you're new to my channel, I have a silhouette cameo, and I do these mask cutting and making my own titles with script because I really like the script font, and it works well with letter stickers and all of that. And so I would cut generic words like together, family, remember, things like that. And I would cut it with different fonts that I find at thefont.com. A few of my favorites would be Magnolia Sky, Bromello, Watermelon Script, and what else? I can't remember. But anyways, I talked about that, oh, many years ago, that's what I do. I just grab cardstock pieces, like, either white. I have also done it in like gold and glittery cardstock. It helps me use up my stash, but then I just cut them. And then when a big when it's layout calls for a big title, I kind of go through that first before I go through anything else. So anyways, here is the finishing touches, just adding some enamel dots. I will be adding my journaling strips to that bottom orange piece, and that will be it. Thank you so much for watching. There will be close-up shots at the end of this. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys another day. Bye.